everybody, this is Yael from Yael Alchemy. I'm here to bring you the message of the Divine Masculine for His Beloved for the week of April 23 to the 29th. Okay, but before that, I just realized that YouTube has changed its algorithm, and I don't necessarily agree with it because it's based on different metrics. Right now, before the message people would just be free to choose what appears on their screens, but right now there are different rules in place. I don't necessarily agree with it because, but it is the way it is. It is what it is, right? So anyway, a huge favor, if you find benefit in these videos, in my videos, please click on the like button or the subscribe button, or better yet, leave a comment. Even if it's just a smiley, it would be really, really appreciated, because I would like the message that comes up from Spirit here to reach those it intends to reach. And if the algorithm is a limitation right now, well, let's help that. Okay, so anyway, oh, another thing, if you haven't followed my Facebook page, sometimes I put news there. And last week, there's a channeled message from our soul sister, Isabel Hendricks, and regarding a message from the Arcturian Council. Because right now, they are giving direct downloads and upgrades. It comes in waves of blue and white light, and the thing is, what they were saying is that in order for them to actually proceed with giving you the download or the upgrade, they need your consent. So it would be best to visualize a green check mark right above your crown chakra, signifying that it is okay for them. You consent to these upgrades. Okay? So anyway, news like that, you can find it on my Facebook page. So if you haven't checked that out, please do so. Okay, anyway, not really new cards here, but I rarely use these cards. And as I was asking Spirit for what deck to use for this reading, I was surprised because this wasn't laid out. I usually have all my tarot cards there, and then I ask, but then they kept repeating a vision of these cards. So I don't know what message it's gonna turn up. We'll see later on. Anyway, as always, I've already prayed over the cards and shuffled them. And if you're wondering why the cards are already laid out, it's because I like to pray and concentrate on praying while shuffling the cards. I do not want to do patter. That's why there's a bit of time before I open the cards, because I've already prayed over them and, concentrated and focused instead of pandering to the audience while I'm supposed to be really asking Spirit for guidance. Okay, so that's just a simple reason. Plus, it adds time to the video render. Anyway, so at the bottom of the deck, we have here, this usually turns up as the energies of the Divine Masculine right now. We have here time for a nap. Okay, so this is saying that some of the Divine Masculines, and before I continue, if you've watched the Twin Flame Weekly reading, that message spoke to a certain segment of the Twin Flame Collective that are not yet in union. I don't know what, for whom this message would be, which segment of the collective, so we're going to see. Okay, so some Divine Masculines really withdrawing, taking time for rest. I think this is an offshoot of all these energies that are currently being downloaded. And because here, usually a lot of the integration happens during sleep. Why? Because the ego gets bypassed. All the mental and divine masculines, they're very mental. If it doesn't make sense to them on a 3D level, they usually dismiss it. Okay, so here, messages by their higher selves, downloads and upgrades being given in their sleep. Okay, because there's less resistance, and right now the whole point is for the message to get through. Okay, for them to receive all these downloads, these upgrades. And look here. Here, the next card we have is the Observer card. And that's why they're taking a step backwards. They're trying to see what all of this means, okay? What they've received during this not really a timeout, but yeah, really stepping back in order to see, just being a little, this the energy of being, not being a skeptic, but really curious and waiting to see how this unfolds. It's like looking at something that you've always seen before, but then again, seeing something new about it, which requires them, the divine masculine, to observe again, to see how this little bit of information makes all the difference in the whole equation. And then look at them. As these messages come through, past their ego, past their pride, past their whole not really thinking processes, past the whole mental block thing. Look, we have here the happy card, which means this is them getting in touch with really their higher selves. Okay? And finding out that, sorry, I don't know what my puppy there, she's making sounds. Anyway, and really finding out that place that truly resonates with them and makes them happy. Okay? And then there, see? And there comes the peace. And sometimes this is Spirit's way of telling them, look, you could be in a better place. You could be in a happier situation. You could do much more with yourself and have much more fulfillment, self-fulfillment on a soul level. And here, very literal, they start to ask why. And why is really the gateway question to this journey. So, hope that your divine masculine starts asking why, because that's going to lead him to the answers. And if after all those questions and all those, leads, they're going to lead them to you, his beloved. Okay? So anyway, that's what's going on with some divine masculines that are trying to cope with the upgrades right now. Now let's open the cards here. I'm going to open everything first. First card we have is a change in the wind. Next card is to be fair. These are big cards. I don't know if they fit in the screen. Next card is TikTok. And next card is no place like home. Next card is here and now. Next card is go the distance. And the last card is the fates. Okay, the way I'm getting this, let's rearrange it somewhat. Then I shall discuss. Okay, here. Okay, because they're sort of in the middle. Okay, first card is a change in the wind. So, again, this is the wheel of fortune really turning right now for some divine masculines. And as a message, he's saying that he is undergoing this transition. Remember, this is all towards the transition that those divine masculines who haven't really fully awakened yet, that their beloved hopes they would make. Okay? And he's saying that he's feeling it. And he wants to go with the flow of that. okay? Because there's certain things that he wants to balance out. You know, it's like the way that you feel, it's the red flag that your intuition gives you when something's not right, something's off, so to speak. And the thing is, when spirit gives you that nudge, whether it's something in the physical body, if there's something that's wrong with you, you get symptoms, right? And sometimes they're simple. You have a stuffed nose, it could be a cold. But then again, if you dig deeper, if you connect all the dots, then you could be the next one being featured in Parasites Inside Me, Monsters Inside Me, rather. Okay? But there, it indicates that something is off. Something needs to be balanced. The same way, if, let's say, emotionally, you get very angry. So very angry, then you know that, you have to balance that anger with serenity. Okay? Being in that peaceful and calm place. And so here he is, this is forward movement in trying to balance either himself or the situation obtaining in your relationship wherein it is reciprocal. Now, some divine feminines will take this message as he's going to make up big time for everything. But you know what? And then if it manifests in 3D as him pulling away, well, this is Spirit's way of telling you is that he needs that space, that distance, because sometimes coming into balance needs to be done by himself. Okay? It's like, okay, I'll give an example. When dogs feel pain, usually they go off in a corner. They don't want anybody to bother them, and that's when you know what's wrong, because they're just hiding in a corner there, because they're trying to resolve that on their own. Okay, so it could manifest as that, and it could also manifest as the divine masculines outwardly trying to mend and fix the relationship. But in any case, however which way it manifests for you, look, it's because he's now conscious that it is time. It's now time to do that, to balance things out. And here, look, the card we have in the middle here is No Place Like Home. And this is the divine masculine coming back to himself. Okay? Coming back to himself and recognizing who actually is there aside from him. That sounds creepy. Okay, it sounds like a horror movie, but no, you are the other half of his soul. And there is recognition that this is the recognition here of wanting to be with someone that resonates with him on the frequency that he's at. Okay, and this recognition is going to happen. Well, it happens in stages. Even if you're not of the similar frequency as of yet, let's say your divine masculine is still vibrating at a very low frequency, there is recognition, but it's not full. But here, this is recognizing really that, hey, that is the destination. That is where I should go. That is where I should be. And look at this. That's why here, the next card, the message that he has for him is this is where he wants to be now, right now. Okay? But the caveat there is that he now recognizes that there are things that have to be balanced. Okay? And sometimes this requires a certain degree of bravado, courage, and risk. Okay? Because look, he wants this to happen now. And he knows that, see, that is also confirmation But he knows that in order to come to balance for that segment, wherein he wants to fix the relationship on a 3D, on a physical level already, this is what's needed. He knows that he has to go the distance. Take that risk. Take that chance. And this is where the Twin Flame Weekly video becomes relevant, because it speaks to this block, this fear of change of the Divine Masculines. But for those who have already surpassed this, the Divine Masculines, then it's like he goes straight to go. There is action there, there is movement. Because here, the last card we have here is the Fates card, which is his destiny. And his destiny is for his soul to be at home with you. Okay? So, there. And I suggest that you take this message in conjunction with the Twin Flame Weekly reading, okay, to see how it applies in your situation. Because remember, this is sort of the wild card here in this spread, because the general momentum and direction of the Divine Masculine, he's saying he's going home towards you. But he's also saying that, look at this, at least for some of them, the scales are being balanced, and sometimes that starts with the question why. But all these questions, don't fear them. They're going to lead him to home. They're going to lead him to you, because that is the ultimate destiny for twin flames, bona fide twin flames, I might add. Okay, so that's why I also take the comments with, not really with a grain of salt, but use your, because some people, I know, I appreciate your comments. Actually, I just asked you to please comment on the video, but some have not really confirmed, or they don't know, you really don't know what level of work they've done, where they are in the ascension journey. So just keep an open mind when reading comments, and even not even on this video, in other videos as well, and even in Facebook groups. Okay, so that's what I have for you this week. It's a beautiful card. I'm glad Spirit asked me to use this one in this reading. I like this message. Okay, so that's what I have for you, everyone. Oh, before I go, I forgot to mention it in the Twin Flame Weekly, that if you do feel that your twin flame is stuck, okay, in a place wherein they can't move because they fear change, the risk associated with it, I would advise and encourage you to get the advanced RASHEEBA for them. Well, there's a couples one. Well, that would be great, because, you know, both of you getting it at the same time. But the advanced RASHEEBA, because that clears very fast. But that would be in addition to, of course, you working energetically also with your twin, because that energy is sent directly to your twin. It doesn't pass through you. It doesn't mirror you. It's a very strong energy sent directly to your twin. Okay, so that's what I have for you. Take care, everyone. Bye.